What is up from beyond the swamp? My name is Creeper, a member of your Fright Supremacy Security Forces. Back with another video with, well, no news this time, but your choice in firearms. We're going to get into some interesting Egyptian firearms. Now, as I've been doing the selections, I've been putting them within a time period, and this time it's going to be Cold War. And we're going to start off with their sidearm, the Egyptian Helwan, 9mm. This is a carbon clone made under licensing from the Beretta factory. This is Beretta 51. We even have the Made in Egypt stamp there. 8-round magazines, single action only. Heel button mag release. Safety seems to be great for a right-handed shooter. Now hold on, Gasly, you're going to get your upcomings here in a second. This would serve them all the way up to the adoption of, well, whatever they're using now. I don't remember off the top of my head. Now, I ended up going the extra mile for you guys. I went over and I picked up some specifically made ammo for the Helwan. If we can get her to focus there. All that Farsi writing. I've been assured that this was made specifically for the Helwan. We're going to see if there's any sort of special sauce between the firearm and the ammo designed for it. I bet there probably will be. Now for the rifle. And this is an interesting one. The Egyptian Hakeem, 8mm Mauser. Yes, this one was sporterized by the Arsenal, but it is still was their service weapon. Now, apparently at some point the Egyptians learned slightly the error of their ways, but don't give them too much credit. This is an ambidextrous gun, so it's great for a right or left-handed shooter. Don't give them too much credit. Yet again, this is a carbon clone of the Swedish Human. This one's just, however, chambered in 8mm Mauser. You have a magazine release center, great for a right or left-handed shooter. Your cocking serrations on both sides, great for a right or left-handed shooter. And your safety, right there on the tang, that can be manipulated by the thumb of a right or left hand. Now we're going to leave that on safe, because the way you load this rifle, if you are not careful, this rifle will hurt you. Think Grand Thumb 10 times worse. Charge our weapon here, we're going to grab a hold of the slide, doesn't matter if it's right or left-handed, push her forward and bring her back. Gives us access to our magazine. Now taking a standard 8mm stripper clip, we're going to do 5 rounds even though the magazine holds 10. Drop it in the top there. Flip her down and charge the weapon. Take that clip out for later use. Yes, that actually is a clip. Now, we're going to remove the magazine because the next part is where things can go wrong if you are not attentive. And I don't want to load a magazine, or excuse me, a rifle in my bathroom. Once you have your loaded magazine, you're going to put your weapon back on fire. Now, this is where you have to be attentive. You don't want your fingers anywhere near there because that's going to take a thumb off. Anyway, great service rifle. Even has a gas piston in there for more or less gas, depending on what type of ammo you're using or weather conditions. All in all, I have a feeling this is going to be a really fun rifle to shoot, which I will be going to the range tomorrow. Now, this wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't bring you guys something extra. I did allude that I was going to a gun show last weekend, and oh yes, I did pick some things up. First one, well, isn't a gun. It's a bayonet. More like a short sword. This goes to the French chassepot. It's actually a Turkish yataghan design. That curve gives you extra pressure on your cutting surfaces, making it easier to cut limbs or possibly decapitate an opponent. Bayonets have actually been a passion of mine. I do have a collection of them to go with service weapons. If you guys liked, I might actually do a video on the bayonets and rifles that I have for them. But that might be for another time. I also did pick up an Orkies. German production in .380. Yet again, a very interesting pistol. does borrow from the straight barrel PPK design. Does not have a last round hold open, but its safety is very interesting. You have a button here that puts out that little beaver grip tail safety. If you still want to make that band, I'd do it now, which disengages your trigger. You have to properly grip the gun, which then it'll be retained, then you can fire it. 7-round magazine, German design, 1920s, because after the after it became the Weimar Republic, during the Treaty of Versailles, they couldn't make military weapons. This was a civilian-produced one, but it did find its way into military hands from time to time. Sadly, the third gun's still being worked on, so that's going to have to be a surprise for next time. Well, that brings us to our selection for tonight. Ghastly Dual Wield or Phil Gilmore. See, I mentioned you. If you'd be ever so kind, up in this corner, put our selections in for tonight. We're going to stay over in the interesting eastern side of things, and we're going to give Israeli guns a try, or something a little different. Let's bring it back home. Let's do a home defense setup. It'll be a long gun of some description and a pistol of some description that anyone in any town USA could end up using. So as always, go ahead, vote. Stuff that ballot box with bits and krill because that helps Ghastly out. And until next time, you guys stay safe out there.